I'm your huckleberry.
This is the Smoking Guns Podcast.
No G with a Z, P-O-D, Smoking Guns Podcast, here on this warm June night, Monday night, as we get ready to talk about all things San Antonio Gunslingers. We are the Smoking Guns Podcast, a podcast that deals with football in San Antonio, specifically football, played in the Freeman Coliseum by the San Antonio Gunslingers of the Indoor Football League. My name is Philip Higualam. I'm one of your hosts. I'm joined, as always, by Leonardo Llamas.
What's up, Smoking Guns Posse?
And R.C. Woods.
Hello, beautiful people. Mwah. I'm still on a party high from Retro Night.
Doing
I
her...
combined everything. I have everything. Fanny pack. I got my Mrs. Roper wig. I got my bow. I got my gloves. I got my earrings.
The glasses. The all-important coin toss graphic glasses.
Yes.
Because we all got to wait the extra 4 or 5 seconds it took RC to put on her glasses before she could toss the coin on Saturday night. And hey, I even saw at least one rotation of the coin, RC. At least one.
Yes.
And
the ref said
it was actually a coin flip.
It went higher and longer than the first time I did it. So I'm happy with that.
But it's not supposed to go longer.
But it went higher.
It's supposed to go
up and come down. It's not supposed to go out.
I don't know what. My skills are not in coin tossing, but I really do believe the third time is the charm. So I'm asking the Gunslingers to give me one more chance.
When I was a teenager and I was bored during the summer, I used to teach myself these. I may have mentioned this before. I used to teach myself really weird things that I could just do over and over and learn. Like I can cut a deck of cards with one hand. Like I can, that old, you see it on like Batman, the 89 Batman, Jack Nicholson is like messing around with playing cards. I can do all that stuff. Just sat there and taught. I tried to teach myself to juggle. That never took. One of the things I learned back when Looney Tunes was a huge thing and we all used to watch Looney Tunes over and over, there was always gangsters, like gangster type characters, and they would flip a coin and catch it without looking at it and then flip it again and reset it on their hand. And so I just taught myself to do that over and over and over again. So I have some practice. I was a very boring child is what I'm saying.
I wasn't really bored during the summer. I
think the point of the story is that I had a very boring life in the summer before I got a car. So
that changed things.
And a job. Yeah. You get a car and a job, and all of a sudden
you're out.
No more time to learn flipping coins once you have a car and a job and you're lifeguarding all summer. So
what are you trying to tell me? I need to start practicing for next year?
I thought you already had been practicing.
I have been the whole week. I think I did actually hit Jerry in the face once.
I believe that.
Maybe you need a month's notice this time so you can practice for a month.
I
just need longer than a week and longer than a day.
I saw where that coin toss went. I absolutely believe you could have hit somebody you didn't mean to. 100%.
Yes.
51-37. The Gunslingers fall to the Quad City Steamwheelers.
Yeah.
But the final score is not indicative of what this game was.
No.
In some ways.
True.
In some ways it is. In some ways it very much is. But it just, you cannot look. I like Joaquin Collazo. I do not blame Joaquin at all.
Can't put it on him
on this particular loss. But with all that said, I'm going to make a statement that should be a yeah, duh. You can't throw 4 interceptions in a game and win the game. Like, that just doesn't happen.
No. Yeah,
Just
4
doesn't happen.
interceptions, but he didn't get some help from his receivers on
No, and
a number of those, at least 2 of them. But
well,
it was. I'm gonna put my phrase out there that we discussed before we went live, Philip.
yeah,
It was, James Palmer here saying, second half woes. I would disagree. It wasn't so much second half woes. They were in it all the way up until midway through the fourth quarter. It was
pretty
back
much,
and forth affair, and you could even argue that the Gunslingers had momentum in certain points in the second half, but a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah,
is really what caused this whole crumble.
It started before kickoff. Like it started earlier
Yes.
this week. Kali Rashad has a knee injury.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to keep him out long term, but not good enough that he could go on Saturday night. So we're already thin at wide receiver. They go out and they find Robinson, who, wow, what an amazing find. Jalen Robinson was spectacular. Running the ball, 5 touches, 30 yards, catching the ball, 2 touches for 34 yards. He was electric.
Yeah.
He was Kali Rashad like. I'm not calling him Kali Rashad. Nobody is Kali Rashad.
No.
But he had some of that sort of playmaking style and ability to him. Unfortunately, it looks like his injury is probably going to be the end of the year for him. The end of
terrible.
From what I heard, and I haven't heard anything officially, so I'm not going to put it out there. But I think it's very possible that Jalen Robinson, as wonderful as he was in the game, I was kind of getting excited as I was thinking, man, you get Kali Rashad back, and you have Robinson and Kali Rashad.
That'd be a good one.
Along with Austin Upshaw and Glenn Gibbons and Naquan Murray. Like, all of a sudden, we have this glut again of really talented guys.
And Harper?
Not having Harper, not having Kali, and not having Eric Roscoe, which defensively our team played very, very, very well.
Oh, yeah, they did.
As well as could be expected given the situation. This is not in any way on our defense. But I mean, really, injuries spelled the difference. How important are injuries? Let's just, I think Leo and I are both in agreement. RC probably is too. You can't win this game throwing 4 interceptions, but you could have won this game with 3 interceptions. The 4th interception was the backbreaker. It was the return. It was the pick 6 return. That was the killer. That interception happens because of the Robinson injury.
And the Kali injury. Yep.
And Robinson
and
is
the
there
Harper
because,
injury.
Yeah, Robinson is there because Kali and Harper aren't there. So how did injury happen? And look, I'm not blaming Zach Reeder either.
He's a quarterback. He's not a wide receiver.
He is a quarterback that jumped in.
Role.
Yeah, he jumped in. He did his job. He did what he could do. It was a lucky bounce in a lot of ways. We got a few lucky bounces, but we didn't get enough. They got more lucky bounces than we did. The challenge, man, I loved the challenge. The touchdown that was challenged near the end of the game, there in the third quarter, I believe, that they wanted to say went off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love that touchdown because it was an interception. It was a 5th interception. Like, they got the ball and we just knocked it out of their hands and took it back. Like, just gripped it and ripped it. And it ended up being a touchdown. That was great.
We wanted it more.
Jordan Stubing saying happy to have McQuell Harvey back. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Alex McSwain, a small roster like the IFL is tough. Reminds me how you're short-staffed on defense against Arizona. Yeah, it becomes tougher. You have to be ready. for guys like Zach Reeder to step in and play a part that they don't normally play, or just like earlier in the season when we had offensive linemen have to step in and play defensive linemen or vice versa. I think that's how it happened. Yeah, those things happen with a 21-person roster, game day roster. That becomes tough. You got to have guys that can do it all.
Mm-hmm. You know who else was good to see back that had been around and wasn't until this Ricky Wyatt was out there.
Yeah.
And we saw him making a few plays. So welcome back, Ricky.
Looking at the numbers, just looking statistically, the Gunslingers won this game in most of the statistical categories except for the score. You need proof of that. Look, if you ever want to see who is playing a better game, you can go look at first downs. First downs tells you a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's how your offense is moving the ball and how your defense is stopping the other team. Now, that's mitigated a little bit in the indoor game because you can score so quickly. You don't drive down the field every time. But in this particular game, most of the scores were drive down the field. There weren't any one into the other sort of touchdown plays. First downs. San Antonio, 23 total first downs. Quad City, 13.
Wow. That's a big difference.
That's a big difference. That tells you a lot about who was in control of this game. And yet, again, 4 interceptions, like 4
turnovers, Sam.
4 empty possessions of any kind, whether you turn it over on downs or throw interceptions, hurt. 3 of those were empty. That fourth one going the other direction was really, like I say, the backbreaker. We had more rushing yards. We had more passing yards. Obviously, that means we had more total yards. We won the game in a lot of statistical categories, and none of that matters. Like, none of it matters.
Nope.
Because it all comes down to the score at the end of the game. And the score at the end of the game feels bad, like 51 to 37. But really, it should have been.
It was the pick six that caused that.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah. San Antonio, their offense was moving. We were moving well. We were looking to score to tie up the game, and then that pick six happened, and that was just the backbreaker because there wasn't enough time left to make a comeback 2 scores down.
Well, yeah,
and they scored again only because we had to attempt an onside kick at the end to have hope to make up that lost possession on the pick six. And of course, we didn't recover it.
The pick six was quite possibly the worst pick six you can give up in a game because it was late in the fourth quarter and you were already down by 7.
Yeah.
So if it's a tie score and you're attempting to drive down the field to take the lead and they pick off the ball and run back, well, you get the ball back and now you're chasing, but you're not chasing 2 possessions. You're chasing 1 possession. You can still make something happen. But this was just, the exact wrong situation for the Gunslingers with that pick six. And it ended up being the
nail in the coffin?
Yeah, the nail in the coffin. James Palmer says, I feel like we had a lot of empty drives. We did, but we also forced empty possessions.
Right. The defense really showed up.
Yeah, we forced empty frames, which is why you stay in a game where you have 3 interceptions, 4 interceptions. Joaquin had thrown 2 interceptions, one of those being a tip ball, which I really wish. You get pitchers in baseball get earned runs, and then there are actually runs that they give up that are unearned, whether it's an error or whatever. They're not counted as earned runs, and so they don't count against the average. I wish we had some sort of earned interceptions and unearned interceptions sort of way we could. When you throw the ball to a receiver and it just glances off their hands and up in the air and a defender picks it off, That shouldn't be on the court.
It's
half a point or something.
It goes there on the quarterback stat line, but it's really not an offense of the quarterback's play.
And for that matter, our very first interception was, look, I'm not taking this one away from Collazo, but it was just a miscommunication. He thought Gibbons was breaking off a route, and Gibbons saw something different in the zone and was going deep. And so he threw it to an empty spot of the field, at least empty as far as the blue jerseys were concerned. But there was a defender in the area who just picked that off and ran it, and had the ball.
And not to pile on in the making excuses category, but it's like what I said earlier, a series of unfortunate events. If you want to talk about another interception, it happened right in front of me. And, Naquan has been an amazing receiver for the San Antonio Gunslingers.
Yes.
But I'll have to say what I saw. I'm gonna call it like I saw it, and it happened directly in front of me. The very last play of the second quarter, the first half, Collazo throws it to the end zone for Naquan Murray. Naquan, the ball is on target. The difference was Naquan was waiting for the ball to come to him, and the defensive back said, "No, I'm going to take that." And he came from my left, Naquan's left, across and just high pointed that ball and snatched it right out of the air in front of Naquan. It was a great defensive play by that defensive back. Something like that, you really wish for your receiver to go up and get that ball as well, which Naquan has done many times. I'm not going to call him out on this, but I'm going to say on this particular play, that's exactly what happened. It happened right in front of me. I was a couple of feet away. So it was really disappointing. It was a really disappointing end of the half because we were that close to getting a score to end the half, and we ended up with a scoreless second quarter for the Gunslingers.
Yeah, and to go into the locker room at halftime tied was a blessing. We really should have gone in ahead, but given the fact that we had turned over the ball a couple of times, like to go in tied, to keep the game close all the way through the fourth quarter is really best case scenario for the Gunslingers. Just didn't work out. I mean, that fourth quarter was a nightmare.
Right.
And really that one pick six. And again, I don't feel like you can blame, like, Joaquin gets the ball where it needs to be. Zach is not normally a receiver. He's just playing that just due to some injury issues. And, defender in the right place at the right time. That ball gets popped up in the air, and he's able to take it out of the air in stride.
Yep.
Game over. Game over, man.
Hit him right in both hands. He's like this, and the ball hit him right in both hands and just popped up in the air. It's just that's the way it went. Sucks. I
know. But can I say we had such a good time, though?
What do you mean, RC?
I don't know. I just felt like, yes, they showed a good entertainment. There was some good plays. It was pretty good the first half. We had some bad interceptions, bad receiving. But throughout the whole game, I had a blast. Was it just me?
No, I don't think it was just you, RC.
Okay, because
I'm gonna say no.
we were pumped. I can tell you, man. The people who came out, they were there to cheer our team on. They were cheered to engage, to interact. I know I wasn't the only one dressed up, right? There was more than a dozen people dressed up. They were cheering. I had at least like 9 friends come and show up. It was just amazing. And of course, the coin toss, we didn't really have to talk about that, but
we need to talk about it.
Oh, dang it. Well, I had so much fun. It was really cool. And I was able to pass out those little can things, and everyone loved them. I was able to do a live interview. I was able to meet Miss Agnes, the Thicker Kicker's mom.
Yep.
It was so much fun for me. I mean, I just had a blast. Too bad we lost, though.
James Palmer says, "How about those New Jerseys? The states? I don't understand. You capitalize New Jerseys. Is that something to do with New Jersey? Oh, you mean the new? Oh, you mean the new? I gotcha. No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm wearing my my Never Say Die, my Gunslingers jersey. You guys both wearing one that was kind of a surprise. I don't think any of us knew that the six shooters jerseys were coming. I think that was something that kind of got added last minute.
It was a last minute addition. I don't think it was ever announced. I don't think it was announced on our show. I don't think it was announced on Branded. I think the only place you saw it, if you saw it, was on the San Antonio Gunslingers Facebook page.
Yep. I think Morgan was modeling it.
Yes. And when I saw that, I was like, dibs. So I made a beeline for the merch booth as soon as I got there to go and make sure I got mine.
James Palmer says they did show them on Branded.
Okay. I wasn't.
I have a new respect for Jordan. I've always respected Jordan and the way he puts things together. But the aesthetic of this jersey, this six shooters jersey that you guys are both wearing, is awesome. And I know for a fact, like he told me, that this was just something that was a last minute idea that he just kind of put together in a few minutes, which is incredible. But then today, as I threw on my Gunslinger jersey and I'm getting ready to go up to the come up here to the office, I'm recognizing the little things that he does that just make it, that go above and beyond. And so, like, we all recognize that in the Goonies jersey, there's the truffle shuffle, and then, of course, One-Eyed Willie on the front. Mm-hmm. But the sleeves, the sleeve stripes are very retro 80s sports kind of look. It's something that you do. You saw a lot in, 85 or 86. Is this
like on the socks, like on the tube socks?
Yeah, a little bit. Like it's got that sort of athletic feel to it. And I did not even notice it until I caught my reflection. Actually, I was going into the convenience store to get my drink to come up to the show. I caught my reflection and I caught that triple stripe on the sleeve. And I'm like, that is a really intelligent design touch that gives the jersey the feel that you're going for, this retro sort of feel that most people just would forget about or wouldn't do, would think of later. It's really impressive. The six shooters jersey, Jordan says, was originally just going to be for the six shooters, but it was a hit and they've already had to reorder those jerseys. I
heard. I went for this one right away. I do know that Kimmy wanted a small and they ran out of small, or maybe they didn't order enough small. I don't know, but I just want to put that word out there for her. She's one of our #1 fans. And if I can do anything to get her a I'm going to say it, at least on the podcast. Kimmy Nelson needs a small and one of these.
Well, and they got them to the six shooters first. Like the six shooters got first shot at them, obviously. Yeah, they're six shooters jerseys, and a lot of those girls they wear smalls. So that's where I think the stock of smalls kind of went right there.
I thought this was a small. Guess not.
Yeah, Dolores didn't get a small. She wanted a small and couldn't get one, so she just took a medium. There were no smalls left. So I'll add Jordan if we're doing reorders, and I don't know if it's a possibility. If it's a possibility, but another one you might want to consider doing a reorder for is the military appreciation jersey, which I know sold out because I happen to know some people that were really looking forward to that and just weren't in time or couldn't get to it. That's their favorite jersey ever, I was told.
Wow.
And unfortunately not able to get there because of extenuating circumstances that day and missed out.
That has been my favorite of all time. Like I like them all. I cannot seem to get rid of them. I went through my closet the other day to try to pare down some of the clothes that I had, and like I could probably go through and get rid of some of these Gunslinger jerseys.
No, you can't do that.
Sure can't. Like them all. But the military appreciation one of my favorites. It is really on point. It's really on point.
Look at Jordan. Oops.
What are you saying?
One of us, not both of us, Leo.
Stop clicking.
Oh, he says, got to reorder on the military jerseys. Plan to have them by the next game. So that's great.
Awesome. Well, there you go, Jamar and Mo. I happen to know two people that are on right now with us are two of the people that really want that jersey.
Yeah, me. I'm people, Leo. Jay Washington says, I'm people.
And let me just say this for all the women. There's a pro and a con to bringing those clear purses into the Coliseum, because then if you have a husband who can see right through, he's like, oh, you got one jersey and I couldn't hide the other one. So note to self, don't bring the clear purse when your hubby's there so you can sneak in two jerseys in there. Just FYI, just 411 for the women, just so you know. Bad idea.
Did you also get your pink jersey, RC, or did you have to leave that one behind?
Did you not just hear my whole story? Did you not just hear my whole story?
The pink jersey was the other jersey.
You never leave a man behind. Come on.
I'm bringing in I'm just bringing an all pink purse next time, and I'm putting it way in the bottom.
Who's in charge here? You or Jerry? Come on now.
Hubby's in charge.
James Palmer says, hide the extra jersey in the fanny pack.
You had a fanny pack. That is right.
Darn it. Okay. All right. I may have to bring the fanny pack then next week. Or not next week, but whenever we come back into town. But
when we come back into town is July 5th, by the way. It is a whole month away.
Yeah.
What a bummer.
Gunslingers are going to have to be road warriors here for a minute. Yeah.
I still say we have a party at Gunslinger Nation. I will go out there, bring my chair, and watch them play. And I can sneak in another jersey.
I still think the watch party on the big inflatable screen on the field is a good idea, but
I love it.
I'm not the one in charge of those things. So
okay. I thought you were.
Alex McSwain is going to Tulsa to go watch the game in Tulsa.
Nice.
That's coming up this week, right? That's this week.
That's kind of hard on Father's Day weekend, though.
I thought, why is it hard? Like, that should be Dad's present right there. We're going to watch the Gunslinger. We're going to Tulsa for the... Everybody knows what a hotbed of culture and excitement Tulsa, Oklahoma is. Why can't we go to Tulsa for Father's Day weekend there?
It wasn't on the list.
Oh, April, yes, I did. April says, did you enjoy the retro music videos? Okay.
Oh my God, they were the best. Oh my God, love.
Let me tell you right now, as we get ready to do the game and the broadcast, it is a very busy time. And I try very hard not to bother April and Jordan during game day. I know they are so busy.
Oh, yeah.
Doing everything else. But as soon as the music video, retro music video with all of the movies, 80s movies popped up there in the pregame, I had to immediately text them both and go, this is awesome. This is amazing. I don't know if they even saw it because there were 800 things going on for them at the time. But I loved that. I loved the 80s videos. It was very cool.
Very cool. It's all those minor details that bring the whole entertainment together. It's just, I love that. Like, those details do not get bypassed by Jordan or April. They are spot on with those.
Yeah, the music videos, the pre-game montage at the beginning of all the 80s movie scenes and everything, that was great. During the game, there was a lot of 80s music being played during, breaks or between plays, which a lot of people were having fun with. And then the fans just showing up dressed up for retro night was I thought made the night really memorable and a lot of fun for a lot of people. I'll apologize. I guess Cobra Commander just didn't hit for retro night theme. Actually,
I loved it.
I gotta give Jordan credit because I think on our show he actually gave the suggestion because I was showing the helmet and I was like, I need a villain night so I can use this. And he's like, well, you could always use it for retro night. And I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. But I spent a lot of the evening explaining to people what the heck was going on. And when you have to explain it over and over again, that means it's not a good fit.
I was very proud of Ralph Judkins, who, let's face it, Ralph's a little older than me, which means that 80s cartoons do not hit Ralph the same way they hit you and I, Leo. And I know that, and I'm aware of that. And so when you popped up in the broadcast, because you were in the broadcast with your Cobra Commander on, and he did not miss a beat, absolutely identified it 100%. I was very proud of Ralph Judkins and the fact that he was able to get that on.
Leo, what did Jerry tell you when he saw your mask?
Oh, he knew what it was. He appreciated it, yeah. But I think he was like the only one.
I thought it was great. I thought it was a cool look. In fact, I think I used 3 different pictures of it on the graphic for today that didn't seem to go out on our social media, but I always put together a pre-show graphic, and I used like 3 different pictures of your Cobra Commander helmet.
I put Gunslinger stickers on it. I don't know if people caught that, but yeah, it was.
I like it.
It was fun wearing it. It was just very hot in that thing, so I had to take it off frequently.
Philip, do you have the picture where all the ladies were and I was like on the floor jamming?
Yeah.
That was so much fun.
I didn't know you were a lefty. Everybody else is holding the guitar the correct way. You're holding it lefty. I noticed.
I think it was because of my legs. I'm not sure though.
Gotcha. James Plummer says he kept having to explain what Goonies are to Jessica. Jessica,
just show her the movie. Watch the movie with her.
All right. So I knew we were going to have a Goonies discussion, and I knew that the Goonies jersey was coming out. And so last week, I sat down with all 3 of my girls and put on Goonies.
Oh, good.
2 of them went to bed halfway through it. Like, man, I'm going to go to bed. Abigail, who has also been the only one that's been on this show, not this show, but our movie podcast. She did Aliens with us. She was the only one that stuck it out with me and watched the whole thing. She stuck it out. But yeah, the other 2 were like, man, I'm going to bed. They just weren't as impressed as the rest. It's fun to watch it now with people who don't know what it is and be like, hey, you know who that is? That's Samwise Gamgee. And they're like, what? That can't be. And then as we're having discussion about the fact that Sean Austin is Sam from Lord of the Rings, I look at Josh Brolin go across the screen and I go, oh, and that's Thanos. Oh, very cool. Iris said nothing wrong with the lefties. I am left-handed, so I am not making fun of lefties. I just picked that up pretty quickly when I noticed. So yeah, I think you're right. I think the aesthetic and the party and the fun was there. I loved it. It hit in a great way. They did a great job, as they always do.
Always.
Kick for Cash was a lot of fun. We had one winner at $500. That was very cool. That guy looked familiar. Was he somebody we know? Like, is he somebody that's been around for a while? The guy that won in the sleeveless shirt.
Oh, yeah. You guys were talking. I didn't recognize him myself. No. I have something here though that someone who's watching, Robert Seco.
Okay.
He got this. He took some video and he sent me an image. I'm assuming to share here on the show. So I have it here. I'm gonna share that Stickers,
There we go.
That were on the back of that Cobra Commander helmet.
That's great. That's
a great picture.
That's almost profile picture, or that's almost worthy.
You go on the mantle.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, goes on the mantle. Absolutely. James Plummer says she won't watch Goonies. Now that's crazy. Goonies is great. Oh, but she's not a big movies person. We've had this discussion before, I think.
We have.
I don't think she likes movies as much as the rest of us do, as much as normal people do. Just kidding, Jessica. I'm just being funny. That's what I do. If I call myself normal, it's a joke, because
it's true.
I think we all know. No, the party was great. The feeling in the stadium. I loved how many people. It's funny. You see a lot of people show up in costume or in theme, and that's very cool. You see a lot of people that have bought the jerseys for the night because you see them running around the stadium, and that's very cool. But I saw an unusual amount, it seemed like, of old jerseys that were not on theme that people are still wearing to the thing, which I also think is cool. It means they've been there multiple times, and they've bought merchandise, and they have something that their favorite. I saw several stormtrooper jerseys. I saw one pair of guys. One of them was wearing the Wolverine. One of them was wearing the Deadpool from last year.
Oh, wow.
Just side by side, sitting next to each other. And I was like, they've been around. They've been around for a while, because they are wearing stuff from last year. That's very cool.
And Jerry bought 2 of those thick chain with the Gunslinger logo.
Yeah.
The red and the blue. He loved those. So he bought 2 of those. I told him to go on the field with me, and he could be like Flavor Flav, or what's his name, with the clock, but with the gunslinger.
Yes, that's Flavor Flav. That's
here.
I don't know why I know that.
I don't know why either.
Reality television did that to me.
Ugh. Okay.
James Palmer says, "Uh-oh, the Batman mug is back."
Oh, Lord.
Oh.
This wig is getting hot.
I imagine. That's why I don't grow hair. It's too hot.
Well, thank goodness that Heidi always brings all kinds of stuff.
Oh my God, we love her.
And she had a little handheld fan that I was using and like blowing air into the helmet that allowed me to keep it on for much longer stretches than I would have been able to without it. Mm-hmm. And speaking of the party zone, there were a lot more people in the party zone this game, I suspect.
I saw that. I noticed
it was one of the things we talked about on Branded recently. And I know even on the show, people were asking on Branded, they were asking, how do we look into getting seats down there, or getting into the party zone? And then I happen to know that Mo and Iris were in the party zone this week to try it out, to see if they would possibly upgrade. And they decided to upgrade not only for next season, but the rest of this season. They loved it so much down there.
Very cool.
So
very cool.
Very, very cool. And Weston is helping them out with that, or has already helped them with that. So thank you, Weston.
It is a spectacular view and a spectacular spot to be in for the game. I miss it. Like, I love doing what I do, and I have a great time doing the broadcast, and I even like hanging out with Ralph most of the time. But I do miss the party zone area and just kind of enjoying the game down there. It is one of those things.
And I do want to give a shout out to Heidi, because she had a blown up phone, right? And I was walking around with it. And when the refs did a bad call, I'm like, that's a bad call. Everyone loved that joke. And I'd go around and say, that was a bad call. And I wanted to, during the costume contest, I wanted to say, who are we going to call? And I want everyone to say Ghostbusters, but that never happened. But that was the best prop ever. I think I'm going to get one of those big phones. And whenever the refs make a bad call, I'm say, that's a bad call. I'm going to do it.
Explain. I'm not sure I understand the joke. So explain.
Okay, so when the refs made a bad call, I took the phone to my ear and I said, "That was a bad call."
Oh, okay.
You didn't get that, Philip?
Well, it's because phones back in the 80s, those big giant cell phones. Are you trying to say I'm
old? Is that what you're trying to say about like my hip? Like I'm not hip anymore?
They had bad reception all the time. They dropped calls all the time. So
right,
makes
sure, absolutely.
Sense.
Speaking of drop calls, man,
That's funny.
Look, I know, and you know, that sometimes things are going to get missed.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to tell you, Leo, that your end zone down there by you seems to be the one that we're going to get hosed on when there's a possibility of the other team scoring a touchdown. That is the 3 men in motion was in that end zone.
It was. Yep.
And then this week, there was look, you're not allowed as a receiver to pick a defender off of covering another receiver. And clear as a bell, it happened. I want to say it was their touchdown to take the lead that would only, you don't want to call it their game-winning touchdown because we scored one more time. But it was the touchdown where he looked just wide open over in the corner of the end zone, kind of away from you guys, I guess. Far side of the field.
Open, yeah.
If you go back and watch the play, their outside receiver comes in and puts two hands into Clifton Duck's jersey and pushes him while the receiver runs under him and is wide open. That's offensive pass interference. Period.
Oh yeah,
it's clear as day in the rule book. You cannot run that play. You cannot run a pick like that. You cannot. It is not allowed.
They missed it. They also missed offensive pass interference in the other end zone on Clifton Duck when the receiver pushed him out of bounds. He ended on his back and catching the ball while he's on his back or on his rear or whatever, but out of bounds because he was pushed out of bounds by the receiver. Definitely OPI, and they just called it incomplete. And I'm like, what more does it take to get an OPI call when the receiver literally pushes you with both hands out of bounds in the end zone,
right
to the ground, and no whistle? Yeah, it was atrocious.
Robert Seco says going to visit the party zone during the game is one of his favorite things to do when he's shooting his videos.
Nice. We love seeing you over there, Rob.
Jessica Palmer says the refs pick and choose what they want to call. We started cheering. We want a new ref. Look, I've been a sports fan for a long time in a lot of different contexts. It always feels like the refs are against you. Like it just always does. But some of this stuff and just the amount of times we have to deal with this stuff is crazy. The 3 men in motion thing, I cannot believe they missed. I'm still sour about that. And even though it was months ago now. And now this pick play in the fourth quarter, I want to say it was in the fourth quarter of this game. It's just one of those things where you just go, how do you not see that?
They were wearing these glasses.
Apparently so.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Apparently so. No, I thought it was terrible. I thought it was bad. Pick play. I will be watching very carefully when they put out the training tape later this week. When the head of officiating puts it out, he usually picks up things that are missed, and I would love to see if that ends up getting missed. If he ends up calling out this crew, he does not call out this crew near as often as I think he should. But he did call him out for the 3 men in motion. We'll see if he calls him out on that pick play. But
very questionable. Some calls and officiating, but I refuse to say that that's why we lost.
Oh no.
That's not what we're saying with that point. No.
We lost because we turned the ball over 4 times.
Turned the ball over 4 times. Yeah, and because of the injuries. We turned the ball over that many times because of the injuries.
Because of injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's too bad. What it means, what it sets up for the future is like is every game from here on out, you just have to run the table? Do you just have to run the table and get help to make the playoffs at this point?
Pretty much. Unfortunately, we got to run the table, and we also need a little bit of help.
What are our chances right now?
Well, we're at 3-7. I have maintained all season long that we need to be 9-7 or above to be a playoff team, which means you have to win out. Otherwise, you're 8-8 at best if you lose one more game, and then you just start dropping from there. And I just don't think that's going to do it. I don't think that's going to get you into the playoffs. Certainly not in the West.
That's the bad news. But the good news is the target is San Diego.
Yeah,
That's who currently is the 4th seed in the playoff standings, and we already have one game on them, and we get to play them within our next 2 games. We play them June 22nd, so week after next. So if we beat them that game, that gets one of the losses that we need some help with,
and secures the tiebreaker over them. If you end up being tied with them somehow.
Exactly.
You secure the tiebreaker over them, which is a better position to be in than any other. So yeah, I mean that's the goal. Is you're just and they're 6-4 right now, and 6-4 in. Yeah. So let's talk about this. I'm gonna bring this up. They are 6-4. They are also 6-4 in the conference because. And look, I get it that it's harder to schedule because this isn't the NFL. This isn't the major leagues. There's not a ton of money. And so they're trying to do the schedule as travel friendly as possible. But if that's true, if that's the case, can we just, next year, can we be in the East?
Yeah, let's move.
Can you just flip Tulsa and San Antonio and put us in the East and let us play? Because we could be in the West or we could be in the East. We're right here on the line where we could be either side. And like we are the only game so far that the Steamwheelers have played in the West. They're 8-2. They're 8-2 because they're beating up on a bunch of Eastern teams.
Exactly.
They're gonna go up against Western teams. If they fight their way through the East and go into the championship, we're going to have another situation just like last year where Massachusetts comes in and gets absolutely utterly destroyed in the championship game because the East is not as good as the West, clearly. And that's all that's all Quad Cities had to do is just play like we were their first game. We are a 3-7 team. We are the second to last in the Western Conference, and we gave them a game, and they are 8-2 at the top of their conference. So can we be in the East? Can we just flip with Tulsa every other year? We go back and forth. Like this year we're a Western team, next year we're an Eastern team. Since we're both right there on basically the same line, can we just flip back and forth? Maybe next year we can get an easy schedule that we can just plow right through. Come on. I'm with you, Jay.
It's not even fair at this point.
Jay Washington says, I don't understand why it's not just 12 conference games and 4 non-conference games and you're done. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
Like there should be a set rule. I love the NFL. I love the way the NFL schedules because you have 16 games now, 17 games. You play teams in your division twice, once at home, once away. That is 6 games of your 17. You play 1 game against every team of a division in the other conference. That's 4 more games. So that's 10 games right there. And then the rest of them are these at-large sort of based on where you finished the season relative to other teams, and that's how they schedule. But a majority of your games are set before you ever start scheduling. These are your opponents because you're going to play these people and you're going to play these people for sure every year. there are rules to scheduling, and Quad City, and for that matter, San Diego, San Diego's 6-4 and 6-4 in the West. Why have they only played Western teams?
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
We've played 4 games against Eastern opponents.
The only thing I can think of is, travel considerations.
That's what it's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's legitimately what it has to be. Chase Risman says the Green Bay Blizzard are a great team in the Eastern Conference. They're all right.
Eastern Conference, yeah.
Yeah, they looked really great beating up the Iowa Barnstormers this week. I mean, what are you going to do with that? I don't know. Chase wants to come on here in a couple of weeks. We need to have him back on. Alex McSwade says if the league expands, the conferences should be split into divisions. San Antonio, Tucson, Northern Arizona play each other twice. Did you just say we need to play Arizona twice? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I guess we're already doing that though, so why not?
I mean, if you look at the map, there's a map on the IFL that shows all the current teams.
Yeah.
If you were to split the conferences into divisions, then yeah, that's about right. It would be the 2 Arizona teams, the Sugar Skulls, San Antonio, and then probably Tulsa. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to make a 4-division team, it becomes really tough because what do? Do you put the, I don't know. It feels like the 3 Arizona teams in San Diego are like the most regionally set up as a division, but then that leaves like Bay Area and Vegas, San Antonio, and Tulsa as this other, I guess, division.
Entity.
I don't know. And that feels very weird. But wait, New Mexico returns. Right. Yes.
Right.
I will be holding my breath for New Mexico to return.
Not.
They may come back. I am in one of those. I'll believe it when I see it, sort of, on any of these teams coming back. Frisco, there's James mentioning Frisco. Not sure Frisco will be back. I assume in indoor football, when a team goes on a hiatus or folds, it's the same thing.
It's pretty much permanent, yeah.
Until I'm proved otherwise, they're gone. Doesn't mean they can't come back. I just don't expect to see them come back. So.
Do you see any expansion anytime soon?
I mean, maybe.
There's supposed to be teams next year, right? I think.
Yeah, there's a possibility of some teams coming back. I know New Mexico is one of those that everybody was sure would come back. And James Palmer mentioning Duke City or New Mexico did get new ownership. They did, but again, I'll believe it when I see it. I remember when we came into indoor football, when we started this show 5 years ago.
Has it been 5 years?
Yes.
Lord.
There was a team that was announced almost the same week we were developing our identity as the Smoking Guns podcast. And so I was watching Twitter very closely, indoor football news, and the IFL announced the Columbus Wild Dogs as their newest expansion team. That never happened. Like they never played. They never existed. Jay Washington says, with expansion, I see New Mexico and Sioux Falls. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Would be nice to get Sioux Falls back, I guess. But you just don't know. And indoor football is so weird. I would really like them to almost exclusively look for the best teams in some of these smaller leagues and bring them up, like make them prove themselves in the NAL or the AF1. And then once they prove themselves and they've developed like a fan base and a team, an identity, then you bring them up. So like Albany, the Firebirds. Yes, go get them. Nashville. Yeah, go get those guys, some of that kind of stuff instead of just trying to expand and create teams out of whole cloth. Steal them from other places.
Yeah.
James Palmer says maybe the Beef move up. I think the Beef are kind of in control, literally in control of the NAL. So I think they're going to be an NAL team for the foreseeable future because I think their ownership is tied into league control a little bit. So
hopefully new things to come next year.
Bring in Beaumont and Corpus Christi. Okay, I'll stop. Yeah, we're not bringing in Corpus Christi at the time. I sure would love to see those guys get solid enough that they could look at moving up. But right now, I don't feel like they're there. Love those guys. I love that they were able to finish out their season. I don't think they're there yet. So what does the future look like? Well, grim.
The future looks like Tulsa Oilers in Tulsa this weekend. That's it right now.
That's all you can focus on. That's the game. That's the most important game of the season right now because it's the next one.
And hopefully we have some guys back healthy, or the Gunslingers are going to have to bring somebody in because they're not going to play. They're not going to play that game with the guys they ended the Steamwheelers game with. I mean, that's for certain.
No, you're going to have another receiver. You're really going to need another running back. I really feel like I don't have any evidence to this, by the way. I haven't talked to anybody about it, but I think Kali being a scratch was a bit of a surprise. I think they brought in Robinson to cover Harper, and then without Kali, they didn't have anything else to put in that spot. So I think Robinson was supposed to be your Harper substitution, and then at the last minute, you don't have Kali Rashad, and so now you're down a man. Now you're short a man.
Man, every time you mention Robinson, it hurts because I just would have loved to see what that could have been like with both Kali and Robinson.
It's just dynamic.
Could have been great. Could have been really spectacular. Can you imagine kick returns with both of those guys back deep?
Yeah.
Some of the stuff they could have done with that. I mean,
it was a small body of work, but it was enough to get a Gunslingers fan excited.
Oh yeah, absolutely, very exciting. I was scouring for Jalen Robinson information before we went on the air on Saturday night. Played at like 4 different colleges, which surprised me. He played for TCU and UCF, and he had 4 different colleges on his resume. But I was impressed. I was definitely impressed with what he brought to the table. And for him to go, and I mean, unable to put any weight on the ankle as he went off the field, that didn't look good. Then I watched the rest. I'm watching more of the game, but every once in a while, when we have an injured player, I'll look and try to find what's going on from up there on my perch. And I looked over at one point, and he had his shoulder pads off, shoes off, and he was still sitting on the table. And it had been a good 10, 12 minutes since he had gone off the field. And I'm like, well, that guy's not coming back. Very clearly, that's something that's going to keep him out. So it's a bummer.
Unfortunate. Sending prayers.
That is a bummer. Tulsa. I wonder how Tulsa handles this game.
Right? Because they've beaten us twice already.
Yeah. And do they lean on that? Do they look back at that film and they're like, here's what, because this is not the same team they beat twice.
No.
This just isn't. We've gone through so much.
Yeah.
So many changes that it's just very different. And both of those games, close games. 20-28 in that first game, that season opener. And then out in the box center a few weeks later, 45-31. That's a 13-point difference, but
doable.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. They went on a 5-game win streak, and were the hottest team in the IFL, no doubt at that point. And now they've lost 2 in a row before playing us, and that's really unfortunate to play them on a 2-game losing streak, because I think that offsets them feeling comfortable,
right,
and maybe gets them more focused. Yeah.
Coach Q brings up something that I say every time we have these opportunities, and I think I've been proved wrong every time I've said it. So I had reserved the right to just not say it this time, but he says it's hard to beat a team 3 times unless they're San Antonio. I don't know. I got to tell you, that's happened to us a couple of times in the past few years. Most notably, a couple of years ago, I said that a lot as we went into our 3rd game against Carolina. And boy, that didn't matter. They beat us 3 times. No problem. Alex McSwain asks, will Rivers play in Tulsa? He was on the IFL transactions under San Antonio. So here's the deal, Alex. San Antonio, the Gunslingers have the rights to Riverius Rivers. But that means they have to, and they've claimed those rights. Like we have the right to, if he's going to play anywhere, he's going to play here. But that means you got to convince him to play. And he's just finished out his season with the, yes, and RC just gave you a little bit of a hint of what that might mean. This is a guy coming off the UFL, and he may have an expectation that is just not where we're at right now.
Right.
James Palmer kind of backing me up here and says, doubt he'll be back with us. If he's back with anybody, it will be us, or we will trade his rights. But what did I say? Did I not say Showboats? I might have said something other.
It's the Steamboats, James Palmer. Not the Showboats, it's the Steamboats.
They're the Memphis Showboats. Hey!
Yeah, don't look it up. It's just the Steamboats. Just take my word for it.
Hey! The Stallions aren't going to win the UFL championship this year. Yay!
Yay!
That's exciting. It's either going to be DC or the Panthers.
I was just about to say, and neither are the Battlehawks. So
that's right.
In fact, to our old friends who watch UFL football and still live and die with UFL football, the St. Louis Battlehawks, the only team to not win the XFL division. The Renegades did it 3 years ago. We did it last year. And the and DC did it this year. There you go. There you go. They can't seem to win. For all the amazing caw is the law. Is it? Is it really? I don't think so. I don't think so. Caw is not the law, says Jay Washington, and he is right. Tulsa. Will be a good game. I think you're right. I think the fact that they've lost 2 games kind of hurts us. Like it doesn't matter. We just have to go in there and win. Like it doesn't matter what the situation is. We just have to go in there and win. But yes, you're right. I would love for them to have like a win last week under their belt and feel real good about things, and kind of relax on their laurels a little bit. That would be nice. That would be my preference, but it's not what we have.
Yeah.
So, and who were those losses, or who were those wins over?
The 5 in a row?
Their losses. I'm sorry, you're right. Their losses. Oh, they lost the Bay Area and they lost to the Steamwheelers.
Yeah, the Steamwheelers, a team we just played, they lost 2 by 4. So, they're going to come into this game feeling like they should win, but I don't think that they're necessarily going to be looking past the Gunslingers. I think they're gonna have some confidence, but they're gonna know they're gonna have to play. They're gonna have to play their best game.
In a perfect world, just looking at Tulsa's schedule right now, in a perfect world, San Antonio would go into Tulsa and beat them. I mean, beat them badly, like embarrass them in a way. so that they would be really, really angry as they head off to Massachusetts the next week.
There you go.
That would be my preference.
What is this sudden urge to beat Massachusetts every week for me?
I just want to see Massachusetts get beat a lot.
You like Massachusetts?
It is. I don't know. There's just something about that team.
San Antonio needs to beat the Oilers.
Yeah, that's the key.
Now, if you want to talk
winning, doesn't matter who, just beat them.
If you want to talk about a team that's going to go into a game desperate for a win and determined to play their best game, it's got to be our Gunslingers, and hungry for revenge because we lost 2 games to them and they were both very close.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think the Gunslingers have that on their side more so than the Tulsa Oilers have on their side, the fact that they've beaten San Antonio twice. I just really hope that we get healthy because we need to be healthy.
That's true.
That's like the key. That's the key first and foremost. That has to happen. Whether it's our guys coming back and being healthy, best case scenario, I would hope for that, but we don't want to rush people back that aren't ready. So if that doesn't happen, then I'm sure the Gunslingers are scouring right now the available players to bring some talent in, and they've been able to do that when they've had to. So
for sure,
we'll see.
At Tulsa, at San Diego, is there not? And then there's a bye week.
Yeah, there's a bye week.
And then finally on the 5th, we get back to the Freeman Coliseum, and the Freeman Coliseum on the 5th is going to be a lot of fun. It's a holiday weekend.
Party zone.
It's party time all over the place, but yes, definitely in the party zone.
So I just thought about that with it being the holiday weekend. Now, this game, the retro night, was a lot of fun, and it was there was a lot going on. And when we left, as I was getting into my car, I told Dolores, I said, "Oh man, I really feel like Murtaugh right now from Lethal Weapon."
You getting too old for this?
I'm just getting too old for this, bleep.
Oh,
now thinking about, so I'm gonna have to go for 4th of July. I think I'm gonna have to sit down and do nothing on 4th of July to conserve my energy for the 5th against the Tucson Sugar Cookies.
Sugar, I love that. Where did that come from?
Remember when we played them last? I said, when we beat them soundly, I said the Gunslingers ate their sugar cookies. So that's just what I'm calling them from now on.
I like it. I like
it too.
I like it. Yeah, 2 more home games, Tucson. That is going to be superhero night. I don't know if we have. James Palmer is offering to get you a wheelchair there, Leo.
Oh my gosh.
Don't know if we have any of the merch. Leo is considering it.
I'll consider it, man.
Oh, you're right, Jay Washington. He did used to say that. He used to say a lot of things.
Oh, but this is true.
Yeah, well.
It's a true statement. Give credit where it's due.
Yeah, you can if you want to. I don't know that we've seen any mock-ups yet of the merch that will be available at Superhero Night. Hint, hint. I don't know that we've seen any yet. Jordan, hint, hint.
There's a hint there.
But if we see some, hint, hint, we will definitely leak that out to the rest of you. Hint. Dolores says, Leo, stop being so dramatic. I always make sure you're fine.
She does. She takes care of me.
True.
James Palmer,
Heidi's there with the fans, so I mean, we're all helping you out.
James Palmer is right. He also said that.
Is there a watch party this weekend then, or no?
I would imagine so. They've been doing watch parties at Sideliner Grills for all of the road game. So I would expect that Sideliners Grill will be hosting a watch party. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I would assume that at this point, that would be my assumption, is that the watch party will be out at Sideliners Grill for the game there in Tulsa.
I think I'm going to try to make it, and I'm going to bring some coins, and we're going to have a coin tossing contest.
Alex McSwain says, need to put a lazy boy armchair in the end zone for Leo.
Yeah,
So
that'd be good too.
that would be great. That would be fantastic. I don't expect that to happen. But what I did mention to Dolores is because, I do have to sit a lot more than I can stand nowadays, just because of my condition, my legs. But those stools in the party zone, they're not fun to sit on for long periods of time. But I did mention, I was like, you know what? I should look for a director's chair. One of those fold-up director's chairs, because I have a director's style chair that's like a lawn chair, but it's low. I'm sure someone must make a tall one. If anybody sees one like that, please send me a link or something, because I may get that and bring it into the Freeman Coliseum just for the games, because that would be ideal.
You think they'll let you bring it in there?
That's another thing. I don't know. I'll try. I'll try and get it in there.
I'm going to put it in my purse, in my clear purse.
You tell them that you're Leonardo Yamas with 2 capital double L's. I noticed. You're Leonardo Yamas, and they need to let you in. I'm sure that'll go well.
Yeah, sure.
Give me a second. I'm pulling something up that I may or may not have just gotten into my email box.
Oh my.
Try to pull it up as quickly as possible so that we can show off something new, something amazing. Trying to figure out the best way to do it. I like it. By the way, Jordan, I like this a lot.
I can't wait to see it. I cannot wait to see it.
Let's see.
Come on, Higgy.
Well, now, just for that, I'm not doing it.
Oh, give it up.
I thought you liked Higgy.
I'm not doing it. No, just because you said that. I'm not going to do it.
Wah, wah, wah.
You don't get it now.
But that means everybody doesn't get it.
It's true. That's true.
Look, I'll put on my glasses. I won't even see. I can't even see a thing with them on.
Jay Washington said, did y'all see the new drones on Saturday? Yeah, 2.
Mm-hmm.
2 birds flying around. Kind of fun there in the... I thought it would come in to the game more. So we have...
Oh, Batman.
This.
Oh! Oh my!
Bring your fanny pack, Leo. Put it in the fanny pack.
Okay, look. When Jordan made the Wolvie jersey, the Wolverine, I had to get 2 of those. So I have one as a backup just in case I somehow, some way ruin the first one. I think I'm going to have to do the same thing with this one. Oh my goodness.
I love it.
Oh, James Palmer says he needs like 3 so that he has backups. Jay Washington says, and that's the sound of Leo losing another $40.
There we go.
Very cool look. I love the Batman animated sort of feel on the back.
Yep.
The silhouette
and the
outlined
guns up
in yellow.
Forever.
Yes, guns up forever.
Yep.
And then of course the hey, when I get this shirt, it'll look like I have abs.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, the abs.
That's spectacular. Jordan, I know you're still working on other things, but I'm just going to tell you right now, having the Batman and Joker variants on the same night would be kind of cool.
Or a Wonder Woman.
I mean, just having the double guns on the Batman, the bat symbol is just like, wow, that's amazing. Great job, Jordan. And
Genius.
Yeah, if there's a Joker one, and
genius,
man, I'm gonna have to take out a loan for the next game, because between this Batman, the Joker, and then I think I heard something about a Wonder Woman, and there's no way Lily's isn't going to get a Wonder Woman. If
Sure.
That's mine too.
I have been, my daughter, Abigail, the one we were just talking about being, I'm going to leave this up for a few minutes because it's a lot more interesting than looking at us. Abigail is home from college, and so one of the things we do when she's home from college is we watch through movies at night, which is how we got on to Goonies the other night. But the other night I was like, what do you want to watch? And she goes, can we start watching through all the Batman movies? I want to watch them, but I don't know where to start or what order to watch them in. And I was like, well, that's simple. You watch them in the order they were released. I think that's the best way to watch them because I don't think they're dependent on one another. And so you just gotta, there's not really a story to follow. They're episodic. And so we started with 1989's Batman. Leo, this is one of those movies that I can quote every single line to.
Yeah.
And might have under my breath as my daughter was watching it for the first time. And it's funny, she would ask questions about the movie. Like, why is he doing that? Why is he doing this? And I'm like, because that's the way the movie goes. No, it's not, James Palmer. That is the perfect place to start. You would never start with Batman Begins or any of that. You got to ease into it right. Otherwise, there are movies that you just wouldn't watch.
I don't know about that.
If you pick and choose the ones based on the story that you need, you would watch Batman Begins and the whole Dark Knight trilogy first. And then you would have no need to watch Batman Forever because you've already had Two-Face. Which, you know, I think you missed something. Batman Forever, Batman and Robin are terrible, but they're also worth, like, you have to watch them.
You gotta watch them.
They're required watching.
You say you watched them. But yeah, don't forget the original Batman with you have to watch that simply because what's his name? The actor. It's
Adam West.
The original. Well, that's the original Batman on the TV series. I'm talking about the movie Mr. Mom.
Keaton.
Yeah, Michael Keaton. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of it, but yes, you guys are right. The original Batman, you know, the TV series, Adam West, that's all great.
Well, and there's a movie. Like that's all
great fun. Then there was a movie. You're right.
There was a movie. It's shark repellent spray is in there, and they dehydrate all the world leaders.
Who's your favorite Batman?
Me, my favorite is Keaton. But I understand that is strictly nostalgia. I was 9 years old when Keaton's Batman came out, and there was nothing better in the entire world to me than that one. Oh, Jordan, you and I will have to disagree.
Yeah, I don't know if he's I don't know if he's just like ribbing us or what, but
Jordan says Val Kilmer
but not his Batman. So
I think Val. So here's my feeling on the first three movie Batmans: Keaton, Kilmer, and Clooney. Kilmer was a great Batman, but a poor Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
Clooney was a poor Batman, but a good Bruce Wayne. Michael Keaton does both. And that's why he's better. He's better than the other two. Plus,
was Ben Affleck one of them or no?
Yes.
He's a Batman.
So Christian Bale was good at both. Also,
he's
up there for me.
The voice is a little grating on Bale.
Yeah.
When he tries to run a horse.
I've thought a lot about these things, Jay Washington. So call me a nerd if you want to. Understand that, Jordan. Jordan, a huge Val Kilmer fan.
Yeah, and
Kilmer and Clooney also get hurt by the fact that their movies are the weakest.
Content makes a difference.
And for all that I like about her, I really enjoy Nicole Kidman on many levels. And especially around that time, late 90s, I really enjoyed Nicole Kidman a lot. But you want to talk about the most vapid, pointless character in a movie ever. Chase Meridian, Dr. Chase Meridian in Batman Forever is just empty air. It is just, they could have put anybody in that part. She's a really good actress, and they wasted her in that part. Wasted her a lot in that part to me. Yes, Robert Pattinson. A lot of people saying Pattinson. Okay. Pattinson's movie is very good.
It's a great movie, and Pattinson does a good Batman.
He does.
He does a terrible Bruce Wayne, though.
He does.
Terrible. He does. Absolutely terrible Bruce Wayne. That needs some work.
Yeah.
There's some balance there.
As great as he was at Batman, he's just absolutely horrid as Bruce Wayne. I did not buy his Bruce Wayne. We can all agree, though, I think, that George Clooney was the worst Batman of all.
Not his fault. His movie is crap.
He's handsome, though.
Batman and Robin is the worst. The worst. Just terrible. Did we do a holstered guns episode about the Batman films? No. I think that's what's happening right now.
Right.
We diverted.
It's Jordan's fault. He gave us this, and what am I supposed to do with this?
Bring it back. Reel it back.
What am I supposed to do with this? We have to talk Batman when we see Batman. And it's all about the Gunslingers. No, an incredible jersey, and yes, Michael Keaton is still the best Batman. So there's all of that. I'm glad that that's against Tucson and not Tulsa. I feel like those are very Tulsa-esque colors. By the way, you can get away with wearing this one at a Brahmas game next year.
We could.
It's got the right color scheme. You could.
If we're going, we're going to the game.
If we're going, I like that response.
I do too. James Palmer. He says he loves the animated Batman look. It's solid, just all the way solid.
Not to change the subject, but I do want to intervene here and say just how great the Smoking Guns podcast fans and followers are. Since a discussion just a little while ago, I have gotten multiple messages from watchers, private messages with links to elevated director's chairs, foldable director's chairs that I can go out and possibly purchase to maybe take to the games. And as a matter of fact, I've even had someone tell me, like, hey, if these are available, we probably would like to take sub 2 for ourselves in the party zone.
Yes.
Personally, I don't know anybody from the Freeman Coliseum that I can actually ask that question before making a purchase. These are not cheap chairs. They're all well over $100. So I would hate to buy it and then not be able to use it. But if someone who's watching, hint, hint, might have a contact, hint, hint, or know somebody that can ask that question and then let us know, we will let our followers know whether or not that is actually something that can be done. I don't know.
I know Jerry would appreciate that chair too.
But thank you so much, guys, for those of you who have sent me messages. I appreciate that you were, on the spot, trying to help me out.
In the meantime, while the Gunslingers get ready for Tulsa and the Strike Force, and both of those games on the road, there will be Gunslingers football events going on here in San Antonio. 2 different weekends, 2 different events. There is the football camp coming up on June 20th, I believe. Is that right?
Yes, that's football camp.
Yes. And it is $85 per student. I'm trying quickly to get over to their page so that I can get all of the per attendee. So that I can give all the pertinent information. I know they just put something out on it today. There it is. Ages 6 through 10 in the first group, they'll start at 7:30 a.m. And then 11 through 17-year-olds will start at 10:30 a.m. They will practice with the pros. They will be there at the Gunslingers facility at Gunslingers Nation. There'll be training, drills, technique and fundamentals, one-on-one coaching from the coaches, including James Fuller, Lee Johnson, and Jonathan Bain. And there'll be meal, drink, camp edition jerseys, and then 4 free tickets to the San Antonio Gunslingers regular season home game. Just an incredible deal for $85 per participant.
Nice. And almost the same thing with the 6-shooters. They're going to be having a camp on June 28th. We have 2 age groups from 4 to 12, and then 13 all the way up to 18. It's going to be June 28th. It's the same time for both groups from 8 to 12. And the location, which we did not know last week, but this week we do know, it's at Northwest Vista College. And so that also includes a t-shirt, palm, snacks, craft, 4 tickets to the game for July 5th. So that would be an excellent 4th of July weekend. The week before they go to camp, and then the next weekend they go to the game, 4 free tickets.
And I will add to that all that information that Philip and RC just relayed. That I believe Smoking Guns podcast is going to do what we always do and sponsor one child for these events, but also we have some very wonderful Smoking Guns podcast followers who have very graciously, they've asked to remain anonymous, so I will not give their names, but they have very graciously, 2 people have each donated funds for enough for 1 child. So that's 2 additional children in addition to what Smoking Guns is going to sponsor. Mm-hmm. So that's 3 kids is the count now from Smoking Guns and from,
it would be 4. Because we would do 1 for each camp out of Smoking Guns, and then 1, 2 sponsors from our posse that have offered. So we've got 4 scholarships available for each of these, or for these camps. What we don't have yet is folks to fill those scholarships. So if your son, daughter, niece, nephew, neighbor, kid you don't really like that you want to get rid of for a week out of the neighborhood, whatever. You want to send them to football camp or to 6-shooters camp, please reach out to the show. The best way to do that would be through email. Email us at Smoking Guns Pod, that's Smoking No G Guns with a Z, pod@gmail.com. That'll get to me the quickest and sort of the easiest. And we can coordinate with the Gunslingers directly on the payment side of things, and you can get them registered and taken care of. Also, to the Gunslingers organization, because I know you guys are paying attention, if you have anybody that reaches out to you that is in need of help, we would love to be a part of that. So first come, first serve, whether it's the Gunslingers reaching out to us or you reaching out to us, we will exhaust all that we have, but we won't wait. We'll give them out to the first folks that come. So reach out to us via email, smokinggunspod@gmail.com, or reach out to the Gunslingers directly and let them know that you heard about it here, and they will know how to get in touch with us because, as Jordan mentioned, we all have each other's phone numbers. That was his director's chair response there. Leo, is you got my number. We'll figure it out.
In addition to that, I've had a couple of, I'm just going to say, fans from the party zone want to know if you have to be in that age group. Like, what if you're a tad bit older and you still want to participate in the camp? I didn't know if that was a possibility. So just so everyone knows, there are some young ladies, 50 plus, who would like to at least try out for this camp. I mean, we may not do a whole lot, and it's not just me. So don't everyone just say, oh, RC, it's not just me, but we are in the party zone. We would love, we maybe have like a little senior corner, maybe we can shake a pom-pom or two. If I start stretching now, I can start doing the splits. I can do the splits. I do a 5K every month. And back in the day, I was a cheerleader and I could do the splits. I'm not going to say cartwheel and splits, but I can do the splits. So I just wanted to put that out there. If maybe we can stretch that 17 plus a little bit, and we'll sign waivers.
That's a heck of a stretch from 17 to
what? To what, Philip? What?
More than 17.
Well,
I'm a
RC,
senior. Doesn't have to be a senior citizen. I could be a senior in high school, a senior in college.
RC, on that note, on an episode of Branded, I brought it. I made a comment that I think there's some of us senior guys that would like to have a football camp where some coaches or players maybe put some of us senior guys through some through some drills until we say no mas, until
right
as far as we can go, and then once we're done, they concentrate on whoever's left, and maybe there's a prize for the last man standing, but for everyone else, it's beer and barbecue the rest of the night. So you could literally, Philip, I see you shaking your head vigorously, but you could literally on the first drill take one step, then tap out and say, I'm done. And then you just go and it's beer and barbecue for the rest of the night.
Yeah, I'm going to do that and then hear about it for 5 years on this show. No.
That's okay.
Pass. Hard pass. I'm busy that weekend.
And maybe Thicker Kicker can give a private camp to Jerry.
Yeah, because you're still trying to get him in that kick for cash, yeah?
Yeah, I'm still trying to get that. More jerseys. That's more money for jerseys, more money for cowbells. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Jordan Stubing said he would allow you in the camp, RC, if Leo and Philip do the splits. So
gosh.
So Jordan said you can't go to camp, RC.
I can't.
I'll try, RC. I'll give it a shot, but somebody's going to have to help me up after I've hurt myself.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that beer and barbecue, senior camp ID was well received by the people that were on Branded at the time. They said, hey, that's something we might be able to make happen. So who knows if they can make that happen? Maybe RC's 6-shooter camp for
the seniors
over a certain age. Maybe that's something.
We can stop at seniors.
I'm laughing and joking, but I'll be honest with you. Sorry, I just got a picture of my grandson showing off his teeth, but he has obviously been eating dinner because it is all over him. Anyway, I'm laughing about your idea of the older men's sort of camp, Leo. Mm-hmm. But I think there's an opportunity here. This is just an idea I want to throw out to, whoever's listening, maybe
whoever's listening
in the Gunslingers organization. I think maybe a coaches camp might be an interesting thing where the coaches, Coach Johnson, Coach Fuller, Coach Bain, take a small group of gentlemen aside in Gunslinger Nation with some film and some information of, hey, here's what we as coaches are looking at or for. This is how we know, or this is what we, just a real deep dive into sort of the X's and O's and minutia of coaching that allows folks to feel like they're getting a little more information and getting more educated. Recently, Coach Fuller encouraged everyone to, if you have an opinion, make sure it's educated.
Yes.
Well, what if you provided what if the Gunslingers provided at a price point an opportunity for education? for some of those kind of folks that would love to come and just spend a day. Like, I know for a fact that one of the ways that Ralph Judkins got so up to speed on the sport so quickly was he connected with a coach who taught him some, how to watch film position by position, what to look for at each of those positions when he was watching film. And I think anybody could benefit from that. That might be an opportunity for another one of these opportunities of getting fans more involved with the sport and getting more involved with the team.
I like that idea. As long as we don't forget the beer and barbecue.
Beer and barbecue, right? No, yes, the beer and barbecue.
We got that, Leo. We got that. We got your chair. We got the beer. We got the barbecue. But I do. That place is so beautiful and so nice. There has to be more opportunities that we can go and enjoy it. I'm just saying.
Oh, for sure.
And get a jersey at the same time. And some earrings.
Yeah, I don't have any Gunslinger earrings. You're right. I need to get on that.
I have them.
Y'all check this dude out. He's growing his front teeth. Look at that guy.
Oh, wow. So cute.
And he's got food all over him from eating dinner, and he's growing those front teeth. Look at that dude. Anyway,
so sweet.
That's why I had to laugh right in the middle of everything. Get your bull spit and bullseye in for the week. I think a lot of us are going to have some similar bull spits. I think that's probably coming from a lot of folks, but get those in now so that we can talk about them here in a few minutes. Overall, I think we just have to kind of shake off this loss. It hurts. It's not great. But it's also not in our conference, and it's not something that we can spend a lot of time. Like, it doesn't matter. It's over. We have to move forward from here. Is every game now kind of a must-win game? Sure. Yeah, like it kind of is. We have to win them all, and we have to start with Tulsa. But I think it's doable. I think it's possible. I think that I think we're really kind of rounding into a form, even with the loss. I feel like there were things that were positive. I mean, obviously we turned over the ball too much, and we've got injury issues, but aside from those two things, those two very glaring, obvious things that caused a loss, they also looked good against one of the teams, aside from those two things, against one of the better teams in the league. I think they were competitive. Yeah, all the way till the end. I think they were competitive.
Yep.
And so
I would agree, and I would agree with your outlook that it's possible. They're up against it now, but it's possible so long as we get healthy. We need to get healthy.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the question.
So bull spits and bullseye for the week. Jessica Palmer already checking in. She says her bull spit, she didn't get a game day jersey.
Shocking.
Her bullseye, though, is working the merch booth and getting fans what they need. That's odd that you were working the merchandise, but you weren't able to get a hold of a jersey. They ran out of them.
Well, that just means she's putting the fans before herself, very unselfishly.
Sure. Wow. I bet that's a lot of fun to work that booth.
Oh yeah.
How about you, Leo? Bull spit, bullseye. What do you got?
Bull spit is from even before the kickoff, just the injury situation.
Yeah,
it's just tough, with key players, and then it just got worse with the guy that you brought in. And before the game, you're going, man, I really hope they have an answer because there's a big hole there, and he does a very admirable job of filling that pole all the way up until into the fourth quarter, and then gets hurt himself. That was just a killer. That was a dagger. Mm-hmm. So that has to be my bull spit more than anything else. And then my bullseye is just the energy from the fans, and specifically in the fan zone, in the party zone. And having Mo and Iris down there for that game, and then knowing that they're going to be down there with us the rest of the season. That's awesome.
Yeah, very cool.
That's awesome.
Very cool. James Palmer says his bull spit is injuries, obviously.
No. Bullseye
was being around fans and having fun watching the game. How about you, RC? Bull spit and bullseye.
Well, I'm going to say, gag me with the spoon. I did not like my coin toss. And it was so gnarly. I cannot believe that. But let's take a chill pill, because the party zone was totally tubular.
Nice.
What did you do? Like pull up a BuzzFeed list of 80s catchphrases and try to work in as many as you could there?
I tried. Did it work? I think it did.
Yeah, I did.
I will tell you that I ruminated for a minute on the title of this episode being Gag Me with a Spoon. It almost happened. Yeah, I went with Total Bummer, but it was very, very nearly Gag Me with a Spoon. I got really close. My bull spit is the final interception, and let me explain what I mean. A, it was the dagger, and that hurts. Mm-hmm. But B, I can't even get mad about it. Like, there's nobody to get mad at. It's just something that happens.
Bad bounce.
Everybody did their job. It just didn't work out. And so I can't be like, oh, it was a bad call by the ref, or oh, it was a bad pass by the quarterback, or oh, I cannot believe that receiver didn't do his job and drag the ball in. And like, all of those things are explainable. Like, Joaquin made the right pass. Zach is not a receiver. That is not, he's doing everything he could do with that position. There was no bad call. It was just unlucky. And that somehow, Leo, makes it worse, because there's not even an outlet for my anger in that moment of, I can't believe that guy let that happen. It just happened. And that makes it worse. Luck. There's no relief valve on that. I hate that. That's awful.
Yeah, it's true.
My bullseye. Those 80s montage videos were so much fun.
They were.
I wanted so badly to turn to Ralph and be like, you've got it for the next 3.5 minutes. I'm just watching this. I am just paying attention to this. So many cool memories. I've seen most, if not all, of those movies that pop up there. Them playing Time of My Life near the end of the game was so much fun. And I'm not even a huge Dirty Dancing guy, but just very cool. Added something to the ambiance and to the party that I asked for. I was the one that came on and said, wouldn't it be cool if I know it's more work, but wouldn't it be cool if this happened? And they rose to the challenge, did it, and it was very cool. And I really appreciated it. Alex McSwain, bullspit, not being able to win, not being able to be in two places at once. His bullseye, the IFL app, worked great on his phone, running off data with no internet. Good deal. Glad you were able to keep up with the game. Wish it could have been a win for you to keep up with, but I'm glad that the IFL network's a deal, y'all. It might be less of a deal now that we're so far into the season. I don't know that I'd pay $30 for it at this point, but you'd have to go month to month or something to get it. Lily Islamis, bullspit, injuries, missed Kali. Yeah. Bullseye, my awesome husband, always coordinating, shopping, and putting my outfits together. All I do is put the stuff on, and they turn out amazing. Thanks, babe. So whoever her husband is, he's pretty good at that kind of stuff, apparently. We need to find out who that is. Who is that guy?
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
He's pretty rad.
I'll say there was a moment where you talked about the music.
Yeah.
And you know, I think they played some Robert Palmer and the Simply Irresistible. I think it was Heidi who was next to me, and she was like, "Oh yeah, Simply." I'm like, I'll be lying to you if 12-year-old Leo, that wasn't like 4.5 minutes of 12-year-old Leo's favorite television.
Yeah.
So that's brought that definitely brought some flashbacks to some good times. So it's always a lot of fun for retro night.
So let me ask you a question. I want you to clear your mind, both of you, for a second. Everybody at home, do this too. Clear your mind for a second.
Mm-hmm.
When I say MTV, what music video event immediately pops to mind? Everybody has one. Everybody our age, everybody that grew up with MTV has a music video with music on MTV. Mm-hmm. Has a video that immediately pops to mind. I'll tell you mine first, so you guys can think a little bit about what you want to be. But Cyndi Lauper's video for Goonies. Now I can't think of the name of the song, but I can clearly see her on the rope bridge over by the boat, and the bad guys coming down the boat at her to make her walk the plank, and the whole thing. Like just clearly pop into my mind. It is what I think of when I think of MTV music videos. It is the first one that pops into my mind. Do you guys have something like that?
I do. I mean, besides the Robert Palmer ones, but Money for Nothing by the Dire Straits.
Sure.
That one was always one I turned the volume up on the TV and enjoyed.
Mine would be the one. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, and they played that at the game.
Yes.
I'm thinking of what's that? It goes something like I wish they all could be California girls. Wish they all could be California girls. Don't remember that video? Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
And then they're like on the beach front. What is that area called where they're lifting weights and everyone's in the bikinis and the roller skates?
Yeah. Yeah.
I always thought, man, that would be fun if I could go to California, hang out there.
For sure. Jordan Steubing,
correct. Chicago, so that was like a big stretch for me.
Jordan Steubing correctly identifying that Cyndi Lauper song as Good Enough. You're right. That was the Cyndi Lauper song. Mm-hmm. And video that was attached to the Goonies was Good Enough. And Alex McSwain also had the Good Enough video, the Cyndi Lauper Good Enough video. I know that some folks will remember Aha. That was a big one that was very popular. And of course the Michael Jackson group Thriller. Beat It was a big one for me. The black and white Beat It. Was Bad. I'm sorry, Bad was the black and white video, right? I miss music videos on MTV.
Yeah.
I understand why it went away. I get why corporate money goes, oh, we can't just put 3.5 minute videos on a channel because it gives people a chance. It gives people an off ramp every 3.5 minutes to turn the channel, and nobody wants that. Corporate goons want you to stay on that challenge as long as they can. So that's why they put programming on there that carries longer than 3.5 minutes. And if you give off ramps for people to change the channel every 3.5 minutes, it's bad for business. That is why music videos don't work on TV. That is why all of the music video channels, VH1, MTV, CMT, all of that stuff eventually got away from that kind of programming. It's all about money. And that's unfortunate, but I remember turning on those, MTV, VH1, CMT, and watching music videos. And I know they still make music videos. It's just not the same now.
That's why more shows needed to be made like Beavis and Butthead that had music videos within them.
Right.
But you stuck around to keep watching because you wanted to see what happened next in the actual show.
I will tell you, for a while there, it wasn't MTV, it was VH1, but pop-up video was appointment viewing for me for a while. I loved pop-up video. That was a lot of fun. Very cool. So that was a fun little diversion. We've gone to Batman and MTV, just talking about regular things. But we are a football show.
We are
the Smoking Guns Podcast, a podcast about football in San Antonio, and we're brought to you by some incredible. Bye, RC. And she's gone.
She confirmed we're a football show and then left.
We're a football show and she's out. She's
gone. I know what happened.
We are brought to you by an incredible group of Patreons. Those folks are Alfred Rodriguez, James Palmer, and Jessica Palmer, Jay Washington, Jordan Stubing, James Stubing, Kim and Greg Nelson, and Mo and Iris Ferrante. They give a little bit of money each month to help us make this show go. We take what's left over and we put it and bank it, and we have it ready for exactly what we're doing later this month, helping kids go to football camp and six shooters camp and stay involved. James Palmer said she dipped because football wasn't being discussed. Yeah, possibly. What is this, Mo? What is Mo talking about here? Anybody remember that one channel that was 24/7 music? And at the bottom, they'd scroll selections people paid $1 for. I would call in and record it on my TV VHS combo, her little 13-inch TV VHS combo. No, I don't remember that, but I believe you. I do remember the satellite channels that were music channels, but they had the multicolored music notes that would rain down on the screen and then create a puddle when they hit, on the screen, as just like a screensaver sort of thing. There were days in college I watched a lot of that for some reason, and that's all I'll say about that. A lot of that, a lot more than I probably should ever admit. Watched a lot of that. If you want to be a part of our Patreon crew, you can jump onto patreon.com, Smoking Guns Pod, patreon.com/Smoking Guns Pod. That's Smoking No G, Guns with a Z, POD, and join us at a $5, $10, or $20 a month level and help us make the show go, and also help send kids to football camp and to six shooters camp. Mm-hmm. Jordan Stubing agrees with you. Beavis and Butthead was the best video delivery system.
No doubt.
I was never a big Beavis and Butthead guy. I love Mike Judge and his humor. Huge King of the Hill fan. Love almost everything he's created outside of Beavis and Butthead. I just never could get into Beavis and Butthead. Just wasn't my thing.
I spent many late nights just watching the consecutive episodes. Back to back to back to back. Oh, loved it.
I understand it, and I even the times I've watched it find some sort of humor in it, but I just never got into it the way that so many people my age did. Just wasn't my thing. So, with all that being said, we miss anything?
No,
I don't think so.
Gotcha. Well, with all that being said, when it comes to the best indoor football experience, you're not going to find it up in Tulsa or over in San Diego. It's not in Arizona, no matter, even though Arizona takes 3 different shots at it. And it is not going to be up in Bay Area or down in Jacksonville. The best indoor football experience, bar none.
Oh, yeah.
When that's what you're looking for. Oh, good. Lois says, they saved you guys saved me a fanny pack. I did not get one.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That was all it is.
I do want that. When it comes to the best pro football, best indoor football experience, the 210. It's got something to say.
Bang, bang.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, spending time with us. 13. There were 15 on there just a second ago. That's a big number for this late in the show, for the end of the show. Thank you so much for hanging out. That was a very emphatic bang bang there, RC.
It was, wasn't it?
Very emphatic bang bang. More
bang bang.
You had more saved up than normal there. So
I have a little song here. Let's see if you can hear it.
Can't hear it.
I hear
But
nothing.
Yeah, put it louder.
It may get our video taken down though, right? So
Oh shoot. Okay, forget it.
I hear nothing.
yeah, we don't hear
I
anything.
just want to have fun.
Oh,
Girls just want to have fun.
Cyndi
And,
Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
A song that I hear and think of Weird Al's "Girls Just Want to Have Lunch." That's what pops into my mind when that comes on. Because I heard that
too much. Time out. Too much.
What? What's too much?
Kidding.
Weird Al is amazing. I'm going to see him in August. He's going to be in Houston. I'm going to go see him. So
That's awesome.
Okay.
I loved UHF. I went to go see that movie so many times as a kid.
Loli's asking the question that so many of us ask so regularly. What are you on, RC?
What am I on?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just life.
Just high on life. Huh?
High on life.
Mo Ferrante loves Weird Al. Guys, make sure you like, rate, and review the show. Download it tomorrow when it comes out, and give us your downloads so that we can get the show out to more people. We will see you guys in a few weeks there at the Freeman Coliseum, but we will talk to you many times before then as we head through this back half of the schedule. Don't give up. It looks dire. It looks rough. It's going to be a fun last 6 weeks of the season or whatever there is, no matter what happens. And so we'll get on board. We'll enjoy ourselves, and we'll get ready for whatever comes. I sure hope we can make the playoffs this year, but if that's not what's in the cards, it is what it is. It's been a fun season no matter what. So thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you on the flip side. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.